Coming at you from the garage again. Today I'm going to give kind of like a weekly update. What I'm going to do is talk about some stuff that's happening with the GT500. I received some parts for the GT500, also a new sponsorship that I want to kind of lay out with you guys as to, you know, what's going to happen, how it's going to look, and how it's going to work going forward. But I have two things to talk about. First of all, I want to talk about the new cam and chain setup on the GT500. A lot of you that know that the GT500 debacle, where the engine was not built properly, in my opinion, there was a competence issue. Maybe build process, a lot of people think is okay, but I don't co-sign with it. The motor ended up having some kind of valve train issue. So I said, let me just buy everything new. So I ended up buying completely new hardware, chains, guides, and everything. And we're gonna go over that and show you the old stuff versus the new stuff. Also, there's a bit of a controversy. The previous engine builder has been embroiled in a bit of a controversy where a lot of like ball bearings are showing up in some of his engine builds. Now, true, you know, it is true that I found a ball bearing in the bottom of my oil pan when I was taking it apart, but it was in the pickup tube, which is a really weird spot because these cars, 2013 to 14 GT500s, the blocks supposedly have oil squirters and a little check ball, and a lot of people thought it was that check ball. But when I do some thinking, I go, wait a minute, this thing was built previously by another motor company in Florida, and it was good for 4 years. It was actually pretty darn stout. And then when I sent it away, it lasted maybe 300 miles before any wide open throttle pulls, and it just stopped making power. So I'm like, okay, when I took it apart myself, not only did I find the cam stuff was an issue, I found a ball bearing at the bottom of the oil pan, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I have a theory as to where those ball bearings came from. There was a forum where somebody made a post and started kind of like laying out why do these builds have this, blah, 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 blah. So we'll show you all of that. Just give you a quick little, you know, window into what's happening. But I'm going to talk about the cam chain stuff, but not before I do some test fitting on the GT500 with some new parts that are currently in the Cadillac. Okay, so Bellac decided to jump on board and help the kid out with the channel. To be honest, Damien has followed me for a little bit, Damien from Bellac, the owner, and I reached out to him and I said, hey, I wanted to buy these. I wasn't looking for anything for free. I never look for anything for free if you understand how my channel works. So he's like, look, we can make you a deal, obviously. I said, look, I'll shout you out. Are you interested in becoming a show sponsor? He's like, absolutely. So we worked that out. And what I worked out was this style front, and he was nice enough to let me pick out exactly how I wanted the rears to look. So he has a bunch of configurable setups for his wheels, but this is the one I ended up going with. By the way, he actually got me hardware, which is super nice. He got me Lug Nuts, which is very nice of him. Kind of funny that the Lug Nuts are in little baggies and the company is based out of Miami, which I thought was pretty hilarious. But I'm going to show you some of the differences between these Bellac rears and my current S71Bs in the GT500. I think you'll find some of the differences interesting, or at least, you know, just know the differences. But the first thing I found interesting is how they set their bead lock. Their bead lock is a stud. Matter of fact, this is how their bead locks look. This is like basically extra parts. So if you lose a stud or two, this is what it looks like. So basically their bead locks are totally different than Weld's bead locks. So let me go over to the GT500 real quick and show you the bead locks there. Actually, I got to move the GT500 out, so let me move some stuff around. All right. You know, one day I'll look back at all this and go, man, remember when I used to have to bring the car in and out by hand? Oh, I got to move this box. These are the cams. These are the old cams. I'll put these in the trunk. I don't want to because I don't want to mess with the paint, but I'll be careful. There we go. And almost died. Come on, baby. A little more. There we go. So I'll do that. So basically, these are the S71B series wheel from Weld. And as you can tell, the way they set their bead locks, there's a whole bunch more of these smaller screws, not studs. Now, I'm not a pro or con guy, better or worse. It's just different. So we'll see what when I install the tire. Not doing that today. I'm going to test fit the wheel first because I want to make sure that it's the right offset. This wheel has a slight stick out, which is okay for GT500. So what I'm going to do is lay the Bellac in there, make sure everything works properly. And if it works properly, then I'll go ahead and just mount it, make sure everything looks good. Then in another video, we'll mount the fronts and the rears. These will be for sale with tire. I'm probably gonna mount the slicks on the Belaks and leave these DOT Pros on this. So S197 fitment, 11 through 14 Mustang. I'll be selling these. There's no reason to have an extra set. So I'll have the V Series fronts for sale with tires and these for sale. But let me get the car jacked up. Let me get these guys out of there. These guys out of there. Get the Belaks on there. Make sure the fitment's good, because they state that if you mount them and there's an issue, like if you mount the tires on them and there's an issue, they won't take any returns. So I'm going to do the right thing, mount them on the car real quick without a tire, make sure the offset, bolt pattern, everything's good. Then I'll put a tire on it another day. Stronger. I see good packaging like this. I guess it's like a, oh yeah. So he gave me a bunch of options with how to configure this wheel when it comes to the bead lock, the hardware, the design of the bead lock, and everything else. So he has a bead lock that has a non-pocketed or non-ridged version. Basically, it's flat. I said, look, let's go for blingy. He goes, great. This lip comes in many different colors. This can come in red, black, all gloss, like red gloss, blue gloss, black. I said, nope, I want it to be blingy, so let's get some bare aluminum on there. I'll do my best to keep the setup clean. And finally, he said, what about the hardware that holds that lip on? I said, what about the hardware? He goes, you want ARP hardware? I go, fuck yeah, I want ARP hardware on there, you know? So it's very configurable, very blingy. So if you're into bling, this is really good. And one thing that I love about them is they're insanely light. I don't have big hands per se, but these are like ridiculously light. Like I really have no issue moving them around. So let's get these mounted, see how they look. I'll do everything without cutting because there we go. I like it. Fitment is good too. Yeah, has the right amount of stick out. It's not hitting anything. I'll go ahead and get the hardware on there just to center everything. And so far, she's looking pretty darn blingy if you ask me. So let me go ahead and get the hardware on there. Okay, this is funny. This is how they send you the hardware. Like, I get it, it's Miami, but does it really have to be cocaine baggies? Not saying that they do anything weird. Just saying this is how I received the hardware. But I mean, talk about if you like meticulous and if you're one of those guys that's into nice packaging and stuff, it doesn't get better than this. And to be honest with you, I'd rather these Lug Nuts than these McGard deals that constantly have these washers flying off. These seem to have them on the integrated side. And oh my God, they're way lighter. Oh wow. So basically, these are the Lug Nuts that you get from Bellac. And these are McGard. And yeah, there you go, their washer fell. And you know how fun that is, having to constantly chase this washer around when you're putting it in and constantly falling. So not a lot of fun. There you go. Okay, there you go. Very happy about that. Looking super good. Okay, super happy. So again, just wanted to do that before I went ahead and put a tire on it. It's gonna look really good once everything is mounted properly. So again, looking at the bead lock, this is kind of like a knurling gripping thing for the bead to have some traction on. And again, look at the difference in the bead lock. This is a stud with a good size nut on it, whereas if you have patience and you've done weld bead locks before, you're there for about 6 hours tightening all these bolts. So again, not saying it's better or worse, just showing you the key differences. Okay, that'll do that. We'll talk about cams and chain stuff coming up. Okay, let's talk cam stuff. Ford Performance sells a replacement kit for your GT500. Basically everything having to do with cam gears, non-cut, key intact gears. Okay, see, crazy how they didn't decide to cut those. These these chain guides, I might end up upgrading, but I'm gonna see what L&M wants to do. I'm gonna say, L&M, what's your experience? Because this is gonna be tops an 1100 horsepower build. I don't need to have the Billy badass anything. I don't think guides are that big of a deal unless you're wearing them or hitting the two-step or anything. I think stock is more than fine. So they basically have the cam gears, the other cam gears. I think this is for the exhaust side, or the primary, secondary, if you want to call it that way. Primary chain, secondary chain gears. And again, keys intact. Crazy, huh? Look, actually look, they have a little bit of a bevel themselves. Interesting how it comes like this from Ford and no jacking was done. Crazy how that works. Has a little bit of a cut here, and I think the aftermarket guys make it bigger for more adjustment, which is stupid, but Ford already has a little bit of wiggle built in, but the key itself, I bet you, is on the snug side with the cam. And how are we going to prove that? I have cams here. Actually, you can see the difference between, actually, let me get a piece of cardboard down. Stock gear, jacked up gear. Stock gear, big key, jacked up gear. Key about a quarter of its size. Well, it doesn't matter, Alex. Whatever you say, boss man. Whatever the fuck you say. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He said it doesn't matter. Look at all that adjustment, Alex. We can really dial in that cam right now. We could dial this cam in right now. No problem. Actually, I gotta hold this, yeah. I mean, that's such a stupid thing. Like, that thought process with these guys, it's just mind-blowing that they still co-sign on the silliness. Just straight stupid, in my opinion. Look at that. Big, fat fucking key. And it fits great. Unreal. Unreal, these people. They tell you they're engine experts. And then they're chopping keys up. Look at that. Good. Yeah. Okay. It's all day, every day. I'm going to listen to what my experience tells me. So since I got new cams, I obviously got new gears, primary and secondary chain stuff. So this is what comes with a $400 kit. These two gears, where's the other one? Okay. Both of these guys. Secondary. Reluctor wheel. I was made to feel like an asshole because the engine builder previous said, I even got you a new reluctor gear. Motherfucker, these are probably 15 bucks, 20 bucks, because it's part of a $400 kit. So you probably have 8,000 of these laying around, making me feel guilty. All the hardware, kiddos. I mean, all the hardware. This looks to be like for everything. Look at that. It's got dowels and it's got everything for the chain drive. The chains themselves, primary and secondary. Chains themselves. Don't don't drop this. You know, I'm not exactly sure what these are, but it's got that too. It's got that. But more importantly, this is, I think, the crank sprocket, but I don't know if this is a billet. So I might just opt for a billet situation. Oh no, this is the gear drive, the chain drive. So actually this probably should be billet also. It should be a really, really good material. So I'll see if L&M wants me to upgrade that. And new tensioners. Now let's talk about the tensioners real quick. A lot of people, especially on that post, that said, where are these ball bearings coming from? Well, let's say you got your motor built a couple of times and you have no idea where those ball bearings are coming from on your engine. So I'm not saying this is it, but I'm gonna go ahead and put a picture of what everyone else is finding in their motors, in their oil pans, and you tell me if it looks similar, because where else, like in what engine generation had oil squirters and which one didn't? I don't know if 11 to 12 GT500 did. I don't know if 03 to 04 Cobra did, but 13 to 14 supposedly did, but the motor was built. So you would think those were either blocked off or eliminated altogether. And then I end up having a ball bearing in my situation. And I'm like, So these are the tensioners, which I assume were new on the previous setup, but I thought they were upgraded or something. They're exactly the same. I'm looking at the other tensioners. I'm like, they're no beefier. They look damn near identical. Like damn near identical. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to the table and see what the difference is. They are. Fucking things look damn near identical. You know, one's collapsed, the other one isn't. You know, that's all. I thought they were like upgraded or badass. There's nothing upgraded or badass about this situation. It looks like stock shit. You know what I mean? Actually, it's upside down, so. Yeah, same shit. No different. So I was here led to believe that this was some kind of special thing because he said I needed a new one. It's in the kit, and then the tensioners for the chains. And made me feel like I got something special and I got these fucking things. Oh, these things. Don't get me started on these things. These things were a $700 ripoff. And you want to know why? Because look at here. Look at here. That's what I got as an upgrade. Could you imagine someone upgrades you to these cam covers and tells you that he bought them on eBay and there's a stud broken in it and it's blue because I didn't powder coat these blue, and then he charges you $700+ and then starts to complain saying, well, that's all there is on eBay. Meanwhile, L&M has brand new ones on their website. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. But anyway, that's the plan going forward. I got complete new gears, new chains, and this whole kit is only $400. So next, just to educate the customer out there, the next time someone starts saying, oh, I can't find these, are hard to find. This whole kit right here is $400. So the purpose of the video is basically to show you how the wheels fit on the GT500 rear. Gonna go ahead and get tires mounted on those because I have plenty of tires to choose from. I have too many tires back there. I got a bunch of DOT Pros, I got slicks, so I'll probably mount the slicks on it because that's how it's gonna live. Because the other set of wheels, I have another older set of S197s, they have drag radials mounted on them. I'll mount a set of older ones on there if I wanna do street BS. And I wanted to show you that for $400, you can get everything in the GT500 timing kit. Everything, I'm saying everything. So don't let any 5.4 or 5.8 builder tell you that I charged you extra because this is hard to come by. This is extremely, extremely common. Don't let them get away with telling you that they did something more for you than they actually did. All right, guys, thank you very much. That'll be for the update for this week. I'll catch you next time. Maybe we'll have some word on the heads. Maybe we'll have some word on the cause of the issue that I had. And when I get that kind of detailed autopsy back, I'll let you guys know what's going on. Thanks for listening, guys. Talk to you later.